Hi, this is mxux. I've got some critical news for hodlers here regarding recent SEC filings. You got to watch this video. Okay, so this is mxux. All right, let me just say, not a financial advisor, accountant, engineer, lawyer. Do your own DD. Verify this information to your own satisfaction. This is not financial advice. Let's get on with the video. All right, this is regarding our Lordstown Motors here, and I've got the Lordstown and Foxconn logo here because they are joined at the hip. As you know, the CEO of Lordstown Motors is also the CEO of Foxconn's joint venture, which is their North American, I would say the biggest right now, biggest BEV market in the world, hub. So, Lordstown Motors and Foxconn are joined at the hip. And just as by way of review, Foxconn is going to be contract manufacturing vehicles for Lordstown Motors. That's what this is about. They're also going to be developing new vehicles, but this is about Foxconn building, assembling the commercial version, the fleet version of the Lordstown Motors Endurance pickup truck. And this is about some recent SEC filings that are being made by Lordstown Motors. I wanted to get this out quickly. I had planned a video on CFO Kroll, but this is going to take priority over that. I have recent SEC filings are telegraphing major announcement, in my opinion. I have major catalysts will ensue shortly. And I have down here Q422. Now, this is in my opinion. Again, do your own DD. There's 4 stages to this, and I believe this is all planned out and being executed by Lordstown Motors, and I think that DJ Dan Niavaji is in charge of this. Let's start with first stage. Now, this is a Form 8K. Now, there are more recent forms, SEC forms, that have been published. You can go to the NASDAQ website. You can see those. They are regarding new stock offerings and details on revised prospectus information and so forth. I'm going through some information that happened about 2 weeks ago in detail. So if you want to look at those stock offering documents, or planned stock offering documents, I should say, you can take a look at those. By the way, a vote was taken to expand the share count, and it passed, and that's what those documents are, to implement the sale of that stock. Let's just take a look at this. First stage, Form 8K, filed August 10th. Financing has been obtained for the initial, and I have down here possibly all 500 initial pickup trucks for the Endurance production. This is the BEV, Lordstown Motors Endurance. And this is the commercial production, the final version of the truck. I have down here, Ya Associates. I don't know if you guys can read this. They have, that's Yorktown Advisors, I believe. They have a rotating agreement with Lordstown whereby they buy stock and hold or resell it, but not to short sellers, we would add. And they have, there's 3 tranches, I believe, in this vehicle by Ya Advisors. Anyway, I think the total amount is about well, I don't know. You guys can look that up. Not important at this point in time. They raised $23 million from Yorkville Advisors, and this was published on August 10. So they have had a cash infusion of $23 million, and this is to fund production of its flagship vehicle, the Endurance. So on August 10, they used this, and this is the second time they've used the Yorktown Advisors, kind of a rotating stock for cash, kind of a credit account. Not really. You guys can look that up. I have videos on that. Anyway, they raised $23 million. Okay, and this is in addition to the cash they had on hand. I believe, and this is my opinion only, I believe with this 23 million and the cash they had on hand, I think they have enough to produce the models that they have planned, the 500 models. Okay, and you can look this up on your own. But anyway, this is the first stage. This kind of slipped under the wire. One of my viewers alerted me to that this might be the case, and it is. August 10, they raised $23 million. Now, the second stage. This is August 16 filings. Now, we've had the $23 million raise. I have stated several times, it is my personal opinion, very strong opinion, 51% certain chance of certainty that the Endurance battery electric vehicle pickup truck, the Lordstown Endurance, is in fact in commercial production right now. The first run of 500 vehicles is being made right now. I don't know how many are being made or how fast they're being made, but it is my opinion, very strong opinion, and you guys are going to have to confirm this on your own. I have multiple sources on this. Commercial production is underway. Now, the second stage of this strategy, which I believe DJ Dan has worked to put in place, but let's just go talk about it a little bit. There's been, and this is in August 16, and there were multiple Form 4 filings to the SEC, awarding of stock and options to executive management. Okay? And I believe this is for reaching a corporate milestone. As you know, the main executive suite at Lordstown Motors version 2 is not holding a lot of stock. You can look through the records on this. Danny Avaji, I believe, bought $60,000 worth, but they didn't have a lot of skin in the game. These options were awarded on August 16. The paperwork was filed. I believe these are for the start and successful start of commercial production of the Endurance via Foxconn. I don't know if the joint venture is involved in this, but certainly Foxconn is doing the contract manufacturing. So, on at least filed August 16th, top executive management was awarded gobs of, we're going to go over it in a second, gobs of stock and options. And I do believe that this either was written or unsaid among the board and the executive suite when you reach this milestone, which is the successful start and execution of commercial production of the Endurance with vehicles for delivery, you will be awarded these stocks and options. And this happened on August 16th. And I believe this again confirms that commercial production is underway and deliveries are imminent. And let's just go over these options. DJ Dan, 338,000 shares in option. Okay, that's the chairman of the board, Dan Niavaji. Leonard, the executive VP, she is the counsel and the secretary. And being the counsel of Lordstown is very important right now because she is going over parsing every word that everyone says and make sure that they don't get in trouble with the DOJ and SEC. She got 360,000 shares in stocks and options. Okay? Hightower, who is in charge of all production, CEO of both Lordstown Motors and the joint venture, 900,000 shares and options. So he is heavily vested. And the weight of everything is on his shoulders, and he's doing a great job, and that's why he was awarded this stock. Kroll, the CFO, also 360,000 shares. And he's done a great job keeping the budget in line, and I'm sure he's going to be doing even more upcoming with fundraising and so forth. But anyway, as you can see, these are some hefty stock awards and options. You can read the details on the NASDAQ website. They have the filing sheets there. You can pull them up yourself. I may pull them up later in this video, but needless to say, these are the amounts. So you can see. And this just happened, okay? This is August 16th. So August 10th, we got the funding. August 16th, the options went out, right? August 17th, okay? Now, this is a form. Anyway, the point is more stock, more total stock was authorized by a shareholder vote in the last quarterly meeting. And this is the paperwork, that's the preamble to, doing a stock offering publicly, and it's a revised prospectus and so forth. And again, you can read these forms on the NASDAQ site. I'm not going to go through the red tape here. But anyway, it is my opinion. Now, this was the 17th, so there's all this activity in these few days. A stock offering is going to be announced following, and this is my opinion, the formal announcement of successful start of commercial production and deliveries. So I am of the opinion that Lordstown Motors, I have believed for a while, they have already started commercial production. I think the selected firms that are going to be receiving these fleet trucks, the 500 fleet trucks, who have been installing the infrastructure to charge them and so forth. I believe these deliveries, who knows, might even be underway on the download. And sales. This is going to be real revenue. There's going to be a loss. The BOM, bill of materials for these vehicles, is higher, but that is because hard tooling for the stamping and other tooling needs to be done, and there's going to be a raise for that and so forth. But the point is, and I do believe this is imminent, and it could be Q4, it could be, even sooner than that, but this is what Hightower has said. We're going to start production in Q3. I believe they have. It's been successful. That's why the options were awarded. And he said, we're going to do deliveries in Q4, and this is on track, and this is going to happen. And I believe what's going to follow that is they're going to offer shares. Okay? And I don't think they're going to have any trouble selling them either, even with the market as it is. And the fourth stage here I have is imminent announcement of LMC that deliveries have been made. To select fleet customers. I think they have 5 firms they're delivering to. Okay? Their first BEV, the Endurance pickup truck, made via Foxconn contract manufacturing. Okay? So, this is all going to happen. Everybody that's been following this company has been waiting for this to happen. So many naysayers have said it was never going to happen, and they've all been proven wrong. Hightower's doing a great job. This is a great team in Lordstown Point 2. And again, they're going to announce that deliveries have been made. I'm sure they're going to announce it after the fact, in my opinion. And there's going to be stock offering following that announcement. And, they may even wait till they have them up and running with the fleets. But anyway, this is coming. Okay, this is an imminent thing. Okay, I'm gonna say, Q4 following what Hightower has said. They're gonna deliver these trucks. In my opinion, these delivery and sales are presently or very soon will be underway. And this is in my opinion. You guys don't take this as financial advice. I'm doing informational reporting on this company, and I'm doing a case study of the myth of entrepreneurship in the United States. But I believe these deliveries and sales are presently underway or maybe very soon. So, this is what you have. You have all these SEC filings under the wire. Number one, raised money, $23 million. Okay, I believe the production's underway. Number two, following all of this, they awarded multiple filings for stock options and stock awards to the major executives in Lordstown Motors. The third stage, they have filed all the paperwork necessary to do an offering of shares to raise money for the start of full commercial production in Q1 or 2 next year. And Hightower, who has delivered on this, said, we are ready to go. I believe that he said March 23, all supply chain issues will be solved, and we're going to hit full production at that point. We've had the groundwork laid for stock optioning, and I think there's an imminent announcement coming that deliveries have been made to fleet customers of the final commercial version of the Lordstown Endurance battery electric vehicle pickup truck. This would be following the Rivian, which is having multiple problems. I saw a girl that weighed 90 pounds sat on the glass roof of a Rivian and cracked it in a million pieces, and they can't get it replaced because the new ones are also cracking. Plus, Sandy Monroe has been called in to solve their production hell at Rivian. That is an overly complex vehicle. It is a SUV. It is not a pickup truck, certainly not a work pickup truck. The Ford F-150 Lightning, again, I have a video detailing the braking problems because of the massive weight with that truck. They're having dealer markups. It is a catastrophe, the launch of that truck, and they're having trouble getting production out the door. They had paused orders. I don't know if they have still paused orders. The Cybertruck is going through endless revisions. They added the four-wheel steering, I believe, because I don't think that truck could have passed the Moose test without it. Its launch is imminent, but again, that is a lifestyle vehicle. That is not, in my opinion, a work truck. Um, some people may see it that way. I think they're going to sell nothing but the $100,000 version of that truck for the foreseeable future. Okay, it's going to be a complement to the S and the X, and it's going to be that level of cost. So the only viable, reasonably priced battery electric vehicle that is going to be going into full production is the Lordstown Endurance, and this is going to happen. And it is got a blue water open lane to certainly the fleet market, which is what they are approaching first. And this is the first step, and it's just going to take off like a rocket from here as far as production and sales. Now, as I said, I believe these deliveries of this vehicle and this is a hub motor powered vehicle, battery electric vehicle, are underway. Okay. Now, I have down here potential fifth stage. Now, a white label deal with an OEM. The chairman of the Dan Niavaji has mentioned building white label, that is, unbranded pickup trucks for other major OEMs, for them to put their own branding on it and sell through their distribution network. So, Dan Niavaji has mentioned this. Hightower, the CEO, has also mentioned this. I have not done Adam Kroll analysis of Adam Kroll's remarks on the quarterly call, but I understand he has mentioned it as well. You're going to do that on your own. I apologize for not covering this. This was more breaking, in my opinion. So we've got all the top management talking about this. You saw the lawyer counsel got the big stock options because she would not let them say this unless something was cooking. I think possibly as soon as Q4 22. LMC could announce a deal, like a signed deal, to manufacture unbranded BEV pickup trucks for one or more automotive OEMs. And I have down here, my probability on this is 50% chance. That's very high for me. 51% is a certainty. I think this is a 50% chance in Q4. I think it's a 51% chance in Q1 of 23. But I do believe all these catalysts, we're going to have deliveries, revenue, fleet customers, stock offering, also OEM white label manufacturing deal. I think all of this is likely to come to fruition very soon for Lordstown Motors. Again, this is my opinion, not financial advice. High risk ride is high risk. High risk investment. Seek professional guidance. Okay, it's the second time I've said this, but believe me, Hightower would not have got 1 million shares, from Lordstown Incorporated if this stuff wasn't going to happen. Anyway, that's the report. I thought this was critical. I initially thought that these announcements that may even be made in this last in the end of this month, but I think certainly a lot of them are going to be made next month, before next year, for Q4. There's the Endurance, and again we've got the Endurance Point 2, which Hightower and Niavaji have redone in their own image. We're waiting on the specs for that. And I just want to preface one other thing. Now, these are going to be fleet trucks. Now, if there's an announced lower range on these trucks, it just means they have a smaller battery pack. Doesn't mean that the range is limited on these trucks. Fleets have a much lower mileage demand than a regular driver, and the trucks are returned for charging every night and so forth. So, the fleet, the mileage may be, the range may be low on these. Believe me, that is from having a smaller battery pack. It's not because the truck is not capable of having a higher range. The initial range from Burns was 250 plus. The thing is, the hub motors right here, they are digitally controlled, and they are either expending power or recharging the battery every millisecond. They get a 30% more regen than a regular battery electric vehicle. I would also say, when these specs are released, the top speed is going to be 80 miles an hour. That is because insurance requirements demand that fleet vehicles have a governor on them so that they can only be driven at a certain speed. I have personally, from inside information, that this truck, or version 1 of this truck with hub motors, was driven around a test track, and I don't even know if this is the top speed, but it was 123 miles an hour. So don't let the range fool you. Don't let the top speed fool you. This is a real sleeper. If they decide to release this as a consumer truck, or if they sell it white label and let other companies release this to consumers, it is going to take off. And I would add, every major manufacturer has either raised prices on their lowest priced trucks, or Rivian has done away with the lowest priced option. Tesla has done away with the lowest price option of the Cybertruck. Ford is only offering the lowest price option to fleet customers. As I understand it, consumers cannot buy that version, and they're only producing 10,000 vehicles with that conversion. So anyway, this is all very, very bullish, in my opinion, for Lordstown Motors. This is the Endurance. Guys, you can take a look at this information on your own. This is mxux. I wanted to get this out as soon as possible. I thought this was critical. So, good luck in the market.